Orena side, why we kind of know why Greg stayed with Persco. Why do you think Billy Cutolo went with Orena?
Well, I'll tell you, generally, the guys that went to Vic Orena had gripes with Junior. Either they didn't move up the ladder when they thought they should have. Some of them owed money that they were never going to get out from under, huge amounts of money. Yeah. Others like Nicky Black, when he became a good fella, it was with a stipulation that he never rises above soldier. Wow. That was a rule engraved by Junior Persico because he didn't want to straighten him out. He made him because he was under somebody else at the time, and he was a powerhouse in the Teamsters. He was bringing in a fortune. Yeah. Like Mike Francesi. He was bringing in a fortune with the gas tax, and he got his button for protection and just to reward him. Which is an bad thing. I'm not saying he didn't earn it. He earned it that way. That's how people you earn buttons in different ways. And so where were we? I lost my train of thought.
No. So we kind of say why. Okay, so why Billy went with Orena?
Yes. Okay. So so all these guys had gripes. Now, I didn't know 100% for sure why Billy went that way until I interviewed Billy for my talk show, which we'll talk about later. Yeah. But basically, they all had their reasons. Billy's reason was that when Junior took the stand and he represented himself and he admitted he was a good fella, broke 3 cardinal rules. And if any of us would have done that, we'd be dead. And he's right about that. So that's when you learn it's do as I say, not as I do.
I do.
Yeah. That's a rule. You're not supposed to take the stand, represent yourself. And Junior did all of this. So it's a gray area. Some people call him around. I mean, I can't say that. I mean, he did 150 years for that life. But he could have been rewarded in other ways for helping out. Or, there's the same thing. There's guys that may not want to come out 100%. They help a little bit here and there. Maybe it saved his son from a couple of life sentences until he just kept, So anyway, but he knew about Greg. He knew about my boss. Was an informant. They knew for 30 years or for 20 years. So,
I want to deep dive into strategy still. So okay. So they kid a few of your guys, right? And then now it's like open season. I've always wondered, did Persico or the Persico son or brother, whatever, come to you guys and say, get this, and this guy? Or was it Greg had enough power to say it's open season? If we see anybody from that side, we're getting them. So what was the strategy to hit back?
The strategies, first of all, both sides would divide and conquer. We were hoping they would crack and some guys would start trickling over, which did happen. They were hoping to break us down. Eventually, Nicky Black threatened to kill me and my partner, Jimmy, to weaken Greg. So we made him number one target. And honestly, here's what happened with our strategy.
Yeah.
Greg was looked up to as the leader. Okay. He was protecting Junior. His war was to protect Junior. Now, trying to kill him certainly motivated him further. But if it wasn't for them trying to take over, there wouldn't have been a war.
Correct.